John chapter 8. A woman caught in adultery. Jesus returned to the Mount of Olives, but early next morning he was back again at the temple. A crowd soon gathered. He sat down and taught them. As he was speaking, the teachers of religious law and the Pharisees brought a woman who had been caught in the act of adultery. They put her in front of the crowd. "Teacher," they said to Jesus, "this woman was caught in the act of adultery. The law of Moses says to stone her. What do you say?" They were trying to trap him into saying something they could use against him. But Jesus stooped down and wrote in the dust with his finger. They kept demanding an answer, so he stood up again and said, "All right, but the one who has never sinned, throw the stone first." Then he stooped down again and wrote in the dust. When the accusers heard this, they slipped away one by one, beginning with the oldest, until only Jesus was left in the middle of the crowd with the woman. Then Jesus stood up again and said to the woman, "Where are your accusers? Did even one of them condemn you?" "No, Lord," she said. And Jesus said, "Neither do I. Go and sin no more." Jesus, the light of the world. Jesus spoke to the people once more and said, "I am the light of the world. If you follow me, you won't have to walk in darkness because you will have the light that leads you to life." The Pharisees replied, "You are making those claims about yourself. Such testimony is not veiled." Jesus told them, "These claims are veiled, even though I make them about myself. For I know where I came from and where I am going, but you do know what this about me. You can judge me by human standards, but I do not judge anyone. And if my judgment would not be correct in every respect, because I am not alone. The Father who sent me is with me. Your laws say that if two people agree about something, their witness is accepted as fact. I am one witness, and my Father who sent me is the other." "Where's your Father?" they asked. Jesus answered, "Since you don't know my Father, I am. You do not know my Father is if you knew me, you would also know my Father." Jesus made these statements while he was teaching the second stanza of the people of the temple known as the treasury. But he was not arrested because his time has not yet come. Unbelieving people warned. Later, Jesus said to them again, "I am going away. You will search for me, but will die in your sin. You cannot come where I am going." The people asked, "He is planning to commit suicide. What does he mean? You cannot come where I am going." Jesus continued, "You are from below. I am from above. You belong to this world. I do not. That is why I said you will die in your sins. For unless you believe that I am who is claimed to be you will die in your sins. Who are you? They demanded. Jesus replied, the one I have always claimed to be. I have much to say about you and much to condemn, but I won't, for I say the only what I have heard from the one who sent me, and he is completely truthful. But they still didn't understand that what he was talking about his Father. So Jesus said, when you have filled up the Son of Man on the cross, then you will understand that I am he. You do nothing on my own, but I say only what the Father taught me. And the one who sent me is with me. He has not deserted me, for always I do please him. Then many who heard him say these things believed in him. Jesus and Abraham. Jesus said to the people who believed in you are truly my disciples if you remain faithful to my teachings. And you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. But you were descendants of Abraham. They said, we have never been slaves to anyone. What do you mean? You will set us free. Jesus replied, I tell you the truth. Everyone who sins is a slave of sin. A slave is not permanent of the member of the family, but the son is part of the family forever. So if the Son sets you free, you are truly free. Yes, so realize that you're descendants of Abraham, yet some of you are trying to kill me because there is no room in your hearts for my message. I'm telling you what I saw when I was with my father. But you were following the advice of your father. Our father is Abraham, they declared. No, Jesus replied, for if you were really the children of Abraham, you would follow his example. Instead, you are trying to kill me because I told you the truth, which I heard from God. Never did such a thing. No, you are imitating your real father, they replied. We are illegitimate children. God himself is our true father. Jesus told them, if God were your father, you would love him, because I come to you from God. I am not here on my own, but he sent me. Why can't you understand what I'm saying? Isn't because you can't even hear me? For you are children of your father, the devil, and you love to do the evil things he does. He was a murderer from the beginning. He has always hated the truth because there is no truth in him. When he lies, his conscience with him chatter, for he is a liar and the father of lies. So when I tell you you're just natural, don't believe me. Which of you can truthfully accuse me of sin? And since I am telling you the truth, Why don't you believe me? Anyone who belongs to God listens gladly to the words of God. But you do not listen because you don't belong to God. The people reported to you are a Samaritan devil. Didn't we say all along that you were possessed by a demon? No, Jesus said. I have no demon in me, for I honor my Father, and you dishonor me. I thought I had no wish of glorifying myself. God is going to glorify. He is the true judge. I tell you the truth. Anyone who obeys my teachings will never die. The people said, now we know you are possessed by a demon. Even Abraham, the prophets died. But you say anyone who obeys my teachings will never die. Are you greater than our father Abraham? He died, and you did the prophets. Who do you think you are? Jesus answered, if I want to glorify myself, it doesn't count. But it is my Father who will glorify me. You say, He is our God, but you do not even know Him. I know Him. If you otherwise, I would be great a liar as you. But I do know Him and obey Him. Your father Abraham rejoiced as he looked forward to my coming. He saw it and was glad. Then the people said, you are 50 years old. How can you say that you have seen Abraham? Jesus answered, I tell you the truth. Before Abraham, I was born. I am. That point was they picked up stones and threw him. But Jesus was hidden from them and left the temple.